Hey guys, what is going on? This is Wrestlelamia, back with another episode. The news never stops and neither does Wrestlelamia. Join us now as Wrestlelamia looks at the wildest news stories and rumors you need to know, including, has Tony Khan spoken with Bray Wyatt? Chris Jericho taking time off? The Rock is out of Survivor Series, and more. No Rock at Survivor Series? Bad news for fans expecting a Survivor Series appearance by The Rock. You've likely heard all the rumors concerning the People's Champion showing up at this year's Survivor Series, but now Andrew Zarian of the Mat Men Wrestling podcast is reporting. Little update on The Rock. He's apparently in Australia during Survivor Series. Now, does that mean he won't be doing something at Survivor Series? They're definitely going to mention it. They're definitely going to talk about it. There will maybe be a video appearance or something that's planned, but he's not going to be there, and it really looks like the focus is shifted to moving a Roman Rock match to LA, WrestleMania 39 in 2023. I'll say it this way. There are people that are adamant that it needs to take place in Los Angeles. They're adamant. There are certain people that say, no, this match should not happen in Dallas, WrestleMania 38 in 2022. It should happen in LA. Whether or not WWE is committed to a Rock vs. Roman Reigns bout in LA, the reality is that the promotion needs to take him whenever he can show up. The Rock's schedule is so busy that he may never wrestle again, but if a window of opportunity opens, the WWE needs to capitalize on it rather than sticking to some fantastical schedule. As always, some fans are likely skeptical about any report when it comes to major news, given the WWE's habit of working reporters in dirt sheets in order to keep the fans guessing what its plans are. Earlier this week, reports surfaced of Brock Lesnar being off WWE TV until the Royal Rumble, a story that seemed to confirm Roman Reigns would retain the Universal Championship at Crown Jewel. Fans always need to process stories skeptically. Nonetheless, if the story is accurate and The Rock is unable to appear in person, it should serve as a reminder to WWE that it needs to bring The Rock in whenever he's available. Chris Jericho taking time off from AEW. Chris Jericho fans may have to miss out on seeing Le Champion on AEW TV, at least if a recent report from Ringside News' Subhojit Mukherjee is accurate. Chris Jericho will be away from AEW television for quite a few weeks as he will be traveling to the UK and Ireland to tour with his band Fozzy from November 29th to December 12th. This means he will be missing out on the AEW television tapings for those few weeks. AEW has used absences like these to write wrestlers off as part of storylines. Whether that happens and how it might be played out remains to be seen. Real reason Bray Wyatt got the axe? Wondering why Bray Wyatt got released from WWE? Andrew Zarian seems to think he knows why, and recently reported on the situation during an episode of his Mat Men Wrestling podcast. Zarian started by stressing the reliability of his source. I want to be careful with this. I'm not even going to allude where it came from, who told me this. I would say that this is probably one of the most legitimate people I've spoken to that would be able to address this. This isn't a friend of a friend told me, and I even have to second source or triple source or anything like that. This is as close to first-hand information as you could possibly get. And it's not Bray, it's nobody that you would ever imagine. Zarian discussed a variety of purported problems with Wyatt. Bray was being difficult, and I'm going to fill in a lot. I'm not even going to quote, because I have the quote, but I don't want to quote it. He was a little difficult. He had some performance issues in the ring, and he had some weight issues. I'm not saying that's the reason. I'm not going to say that's the reason, but you can kind of piece things together as to the things. When you evaluate a talent and you're like, okay, we need this and we need that, and this is the plan moving forward, you need someone. Sometimes the decision is easier to make if you make it more difficult for them to make that decision. This is the first time anyone has heard anything about possible reasons for the WWE releasing Wyatt, a move which not only shocked fans but also the WWE's TV partners. While Wyatt was said to be protective of his character, The Fiend, which makes sense considering how popular it is, there's been no explanation for the WWE ditching a popular wrestler who moved much merchandise. Zarian went on to say, "So there is no one reason, by the way, let me just put it out there. Financial, yes, there was a financial issue. There were plenty of other scenarios here. I don't think he was happy. And I would tell you that these decisions are not cut and dry. It's not like, oh, it was a money thing and that's it. Obviously, they're going to say that. That'll be the public answer. Because most likely, it played a part in money, because you can only like some guys so much when you're losing money. I'm not saying they were losing money, but I'm just putting it out there like that. There were numerous reasons, not one." The problem with Zarian's comments is that they're vague and he's keeping them nebulous. Since he seems confident about their accuracy, is there any good reason why he wouldn't mention them? This is certainly a situation where fans have to read between the lines and figure things out on their own. Unfortunately, that can often lead to wild speculation, and it would have been better for Zarian to report everything and not worry about stepping on toes. It should be noted that as Wyatt's non-compete clause comes close to expiration, this could be a move by someone to discourage another promotion from signing him. What do you think? Let us know in the comments below. Did Tony Khan speak with Bray Wyatt? Wyndham Rotunda, aka former WWE superstar Bray Wyatt, may or may not be a free agent, but has AEW president Tony Khan spoken with him? You'll no doubt recall that his 90-day non-compete clause was rumored to expire before Halloween, but there were also reports that Rotunda may have worked out a deal with the WWE where he could compete earlier. According to a report in this week's Wrestling Observer newsletter, Tony Khan did some interviews regarding Wyndham Rotunda, Bray Wyatt, who, at least as of last word, wanted to use the Wyndham name going forward. He said that he had never talked with him, but was interested in talking with him. From a legal standpoint, to avoid tampering, since his 90 days just ended, he's not supposed to talk with him, even though in wrestling, that stuff is always violated. Khan spoke with the New York Post about Rotunda. I like him as a person very much, and he's a really talented person. At the right time and place, sure, I'd be interested to talk to him. I'm interested to talk to him in general because he's a great person. Fans are still speculating where Rotunda will show up, and regardless of whatever problems he may or may not have had in the WWE, he should get quite the response when he does show up. Does the WWE think AEW is doomed? As the WWE and AEW prepare to go head-to-head on 15th October, SmackDown will air a commercial-free extra half hour from 10 p.m. to 10:30 p.m. against Rampage. There's been some trash-talking by Tony Khan. However, how does WWE feel about Khan and AEW's recent success, not only with ratings and pay-per-view numbers, but its signing of major stars? Dave Meltzer commented on the situation in this week's Observer. The perception within WWE that Khan will spend so much and lose so much money in the long run, the rope-a-dope philosophy they've espoused. There's even the same talk from the top that there was during the Monday Night Wars of how this is unfair to them because they have to make money while they perceive the opposition doesn't have to. The idea that AEW doesn't have to make money is ludicrous. While AEW reportedly is operating at a loss due to the development of their upcoming console game, Diamond Dave made a good point that Khan has said that the company would have been profitable in 2021 if not for money he earmarked for a video game that will be released in 2022, and that the company will be very profitable next year. In most accounting circles, this year would be considered profitable because when you make an expense for next year's release, such as a movie or a video game or clothing line, you usually put the expense in at the time the thing is released. Khan has shown business acumen in building AEW up and working with other promotions to create greater awareness of the company and bring in new stars, while also introducing AEW stars to other promotions. The company worked hard through the pandemic to continue its shows at a time when other promotions suspended operations and the WWE cut its roster and workforce at an incredible rate. While the case can be made that AEW is overspending, its past success had nothing to do with recent signings such as CM Punk, Bryan Danielson, and Adam Cole. Sasha's generous gesture. Last but not least, add Sasha Banks' name to the list of wrestlers who help out those in need. San Francisco's ABC News 7 reported on the Boss gifting tickets to Raw to 9-year-old Tony Okoa, who has battled cancer twice and endured 7 years of chemotherapy, 15 blood transfusions, 11 surgeries, and 34 spinal taps. Thankfully, the report indicated Tony is now cancer-free as of this past August. This isn't the first time Banks has shown kindness to the young fan. The news channel reports Banks previously sent Tony a care package while he was in the hospital. What do you think of these stories and rumors? Be sure to leave your comments and don't forget to subscribe to our channel, follow us on Instagram and Twitter, and I'll see you next time for some more wrestling content.